I think you made a great statement in that, we didn't sign stars. I think they developed into stars. And I think that says something for our program and our staff and what we're able to do and help those guys develop them. But they all had talent, and we liked them. Maybe some other people didn't like them as well as us, but we liked them. So it didn't shock us along that front. It might have shocked a lot of the so-called experts. So, that's all we're trying to do is help each individual guy, get better. Like I said earlier, I like our talent level. I don't like our inexperience, but it's also something that, you deal with. College basketball is a young game. There's other people out there that are going to be successful that are playing young guys. We just are hoping to be one of them.
Right. Could this group, potentially, use the word potentially, be the best class since the Hummel, Johnson, Moore class?
Sure, especially when you throw Donnie in there.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, and you're also talking about 5 guys versus 3, so you have more people to get it. But, when you talk about that class, you're talking about 12 years of college basketball. They played as a group. 11 of them were all Big Ten selections. And the guy who didn't make all Big Ten ended up being MVP overall his senior year. So it's the best class in Purdue history.
But this was a good one.
This is a good one. They still haven't done anything.
Exactly.
So let's allow them to do something before we put them in the Hall of Fame.
With this class, something that they might have an advantage over the 2007 class is physically they seem more imposing, ready for a grind of a Big Ten season. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. That's a good point. When you look at Donnie Hale after spending a year redshirting and gaining 15 pounds, if you look at Jay Simpson and A.J. Hammonds as having true Big Ten bodies, Rayfield Davis is a strong guard, and then anytime you talk about a point guard, I think it's more quickness than it is strength, and Ronnie Johnson has a lot of quickness, so I do agree with that. That's a good point.
How is DJ Bird as developed as a leader for you guys?
Well, I think he's always been a guy that had natural leadership ability. It's hard when you're not one of the better players for that to jump out. He's been a piece of the puzzle for us. Last year he averaged about 12 in Big Ten play. That's probably more than a piece of the puzzle. But now, anytime you have ownership, of a particular team, especially as a senior, I think now those leadership skills and abilities will come out. And he's shown that before. He's shown that leadership before, even though he hasn't been in the role of, say, a Rob Hummel or an Each1.
The incidents that happened last year for Michigan State, do you think that's helped him in his development at this point?
I think it's helped him as a person. I think anytime you make an error in judgment socially, and it happens once, people forget about it. The world loves for someone to make a mistake and then have a feel-good story, but the world absolutely despises people that have a pattern of behavior. And as long as it doesn't become a pattern of behavior and there's another incident, I think people are fine about that, because that's what we all do. You all make mistakes and then you learn from it. So I think he learned from it. He wanted to play that game against Michigan State, but I think from a big picture standpoint, I think he understands why he did it.
This is a bit of a different senior class if you think about it from the previous 2 that you've had.
Oh, sure.
Does that put a lot on Drew and DJ?
Sure, but that's what you want. You put a lot on people that are capable of handling it. And both of those guys are capable of being our leaders and helping our guys, especially our freshmen.